What's up, investors? Okay, we're gonna do this really quick. Okay, I'm gonna do an account review. This is the video like takes 30,000 to a million, and then after that, we're gonna play a little bit with the options builder that Robinhood introduced not too long ago, maybe a couple of days ago or yesterday or something like that. And we'll see how it works and whether I like it or not, or whether you like it or not. So first, going into the account, I'm sitting at 178.657.12. There was a big leg up during the midday of the session. That's because of Jerome Powell and his speaks to the universe about his rate hikes and outlook of rate hikes. It looks like we might be slowing down soon with the rate hikes, so that's cool. I'm going to go through all the positions to do a little relative comparison when it comes to performance. Now the options positions are on the right. Just follow the cursor, or you can pause the video player at any moment to try to figure out the exact positions. All right. The only position of note here is Man U, that I've been losing a lot of money on and I've been wrong about, so I'm really pissed off about that, but that's okay. The Chinese ADRs actually did really well today, so we'll see how that progresses as the months go on. Now these are my equity positions here. You can press stop at any moment, excuse me, to try to find out that position again. Sorry, I have some allergies and yeah, or something's wrong. But anyway, Apple was up almost 5%, huge gains. I made the mistake of selling like 15 shares midday, so I don't know why I did that. Maybe I wanted to raise some cash, who knows. Smith & Wesson is kind of weak, but then again, it's been holding up fairly strong in the down market, so I don't blame it. It's doing just fine. Okay, investing tab. This is an investment tab. I'm sitting at $113,000 that I've borrowed from Robinhood in order to goose my account to show at 291,623.00. So that is the market value of the account. That's how much, total money I'm controlling right now. But that is not the account value. Okay, the account value is this number here, 178,657. All right. Going back to the investment tab, these are the positions based on total equity. You'll see the little graph here on the right. The next one is highlighted here, Smith & Wesson at 100,000 after Apple's 103,000. And then the next one is Main Street Capital, Realty Income, Paramount Global. Next, relative performance. 1 day, up 4.32%, beating the market. 1 week, up 0.25%, not beating the market. 1 month, up 2.34%, not beating the market. 3 months chart, down 8.5, definitely not beating the market. The market's green on the 3 months chart. Year to date, down 4%, beating the market. 1 year chart, down 4.25, definitely beating the market. All-time chart, sitting at plus 147%. Started investing in August 28, 2018. That's why the chart looks so flat before that. And up about 145% since then. The S&P 500, here's the performance here, judging by the SPY, which is an exchange-traded fund that represents the best. It's an index that represents the best, the largest, most profitable companies based off into the United States. So 1 day up 3%, 1 week up 1.53%, 1 month up 5.13, 3 months up 3.85. If I remember, I was down 8 point something, like 9% on the 3 months. So I'm getting killed by the market on the 3 month chart, but winning on the 1 year chart. If you remember, I was down 4%, market's down 12 almost, and the 5 year chart almost also winning. By like 100%, a little bit less, 90% or something like that. All right, so that is the account in a nutshell. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the builder that was introduced by Robinhood when it comes to placing options trades. So let's run through some examples. All right, let's take Apple, for example. We're going to go to Apple's page here by clicking on Apple or searching Apple in the search bar here on the top. And then we're going to go on the trade Apple options, and then on the top left you'll see, I don't know where it is on the phone, I think it should be there as well. Top left you'll see the builder button, and it gives you a bunch of strategies that you can choose from. Now Then I have my favorite iron condor here. But one day I actually have a video explaining what an iron condor is. Maybe I'll build one for you in a second. But it does have a bunch of systems that you can choose from that you could try to build without having super large knowledge of options. So at the bottom here, there's this thing called long straddle. So we're going to try to build that and see how we do with this builder. We're going to click it. So the first thing you do when you place option trades is you make sure that you have the date that you want the option to expire at chosen first. All right, don't forget about the date. It was going to default to the most nearest date to now, and so that may not be your date of preference, because if you just leave it like that, this thing is going to expire in a couple of days. Actually, just one day, because you're going to see this on Thursday or so, and the option is going to expire on Friday, so you get 1 day to play with. But let's stick with that 1 day for today, just for an example. What you're going to do is, once you pick the date, instead of having to pick both legs of the option strategy, you're just going to click one button. Just going to pick a strike price. Let's pick 149. There we go. We've picked it, and you'll see on the top right, it's populated our little request. It's a long straddle, and we're going to be buying a 149 strike price put. We're going to be buying a 149 strike price call. Okay, this kind of formation benefits when the stock moves up aggressively in one direction or the other. I almost hit myself in the face, and because I don't see myself. And then you lose if the stock does nothing, if it's just a boring old apple and it stays between the range of 145.9 to 152.1. If it goes outside of that range, it tells you how much money you're going to win over here on the expected profit and loss chart based on the movement of the stock. Okay, so if Apple drops down to 0 by some miraculous movement tomorrow, or by Friday, you're going to win $14,590. Is that going to happen? Absolutely not. I'd be willing to bet everything on it. And but you could win, somewhere in the 200s, 100s, based on this chart. And also, if Apple goes aggressively up, you could also win some $100, $200 or so, depending on how aggressively it moves. So this is cool. Next thing you do is you click continue. You place the number of contracts you want to do. Sometimes if you're a big baller, you can do like 10 of them, 100 of them, I don't know. This limit price window is very important. If you don't want to pay much money, you can lower this number down to keep your costs down, but then you run the risk of not having your trade filled. Okay, the broker may not find enough people on the other side of the trade for you to trade with, and you may be stuck not being able to place the trade that you want. So once you pick a number here, the higher it is, the more likely it is for your trade to fill. And then you can do expires at the end of the day, or you can have it active trying to fill for the next 90 days. Over here, it'll give you the max cost, which is 310. All you do is review order, and it'll just repeat what you just did, give you a little order summary, the maximum cost of your trade, and then you click submit, and you're ready to go. And then you just wait until the close on Friday, unless you want to exit the trade in the meantime, which is way too much play. So I would just wait. Now, how would I do this if I didn't use the builder? Okay. Well, that's a mighty good question. I actually like to do everything manual myself. So I'm going to go in, we're going to do the exact same thing, but not use the builder and try to build the exact same position, okay? So we're going to go to Apple and then trade Apple options. Now, to build what we just built, we need to buy a call, all right? And then buy a put with the same expiration date and the same strike price. And what you'll see here in the top right is that exact same thing happened that we just did with a couple buttons, all right? It's a long straddle, okay? 149 strike price for the call and for the put. And there it goes. Total cost is about the same. The chart looks exactly the same. Everything's the same. We just built it manually, all right? So This though, doing everything manually gives you a little bit more freedom. Like if I don't want to do a straddle, I want to do a strangle, maybe I will do a lower strike price to reduce my cost. Okay, so I'll do 148 instead of 149. So what's going to happen here is, look, it knows what I'm trying to build, a long strangle. And now the cost is 256. Now, the price that I pay for this lower cost is that the window of losing strike prices increased. So there's a higher percent chance of me walking away with zero cash. Okay, but the collateral I have to put up in the beginning, not collateral, the cost of the option strategy I have to put up in the beginning is a lot less. I can even go further down. Look, I can edit it here. You see how easy it is to edit? Because I'm doing it manually. There you go. Now I lowered the put price all the way to 147. The price of my strategy now lowered itself to 214. If I'm a little bit more bullish than bearish, right? I could put this all the way down. Okay. And now you see how I profit more from the price going up than I'll lose from the price going down. All right, because I only paid $33 for that. But I'm really betting that I'm only protecting myself against an extreme down case. I'm not protecting myself all the way to a strike price of 142. So if Apple drops to 142, I'll still lose money. So it would have to drop all the way substantially below 142 for me to make up, for me to start turning, going into the green. So that's why I like to build manually. Look what I can build here, a system that is not listed, that is very popular. Well, one of my favorites is the Iron Condor. Okay, so let's get rid of this. The way you build it is you sell a call, and then you buy a call right above it to complete the first wing, and then you sell a put with the same duration, with the same expiration date, and then you buy a put right below it, and it knows what you're trying to build. See this? Short Iron Condor. Actually, we need to put this put a little bit further down, excuse me, to make the wings a little more equal. All right, now that looks good. So here we go, short Iron Condor. It's a complicated system where you build two wings, a credit spread and a debit spread, and then this is your expected profit and loss. It's basically a reverse almost of it's not quite a reverse because it's got capped loss, but of the strategy we just placed a little bit earlier. And you'll see the window for winning the maximum premium gain is quite large here, right? From 147 to 150. And so I like to do things manually because I'm a little more creative like that, and you can do all kinds of stuff. You can play around with the dates, but the builder will do an amazing things for you. It will help you build like calendar spreads if you don't know how to do it manually. But my suggestion is use the filter if you want. It's fun and easy for beginners to kind of try to understand how options work, and gives you the profit and loss expectation right there in front of you so you can better understand it. But if I were you, I would spend the time to understand how to place these trades manually, and because you're going to get a better grasp of how options work, and be able to execute things cleaner and more to your liking depending on what you think is going to happen. You can express yourself better that way. Okay, so this builder is kind of giving you a bunch of pre-cut pictures, and then you just kind of pick your picture. But when you place things manually, it's more like you're drawing the picture yourself, and you can express yourself better in the market, and perhaps even profit more. All right, so hopefully that helped a little bit. If it didn't, sorry. I'll try to make another video tomorrow or the next day, depending on what happens, to update you on the account and see how we finish off the week. All right, that's it for now. Peace out.